because it is their prey. They soon discover that the demon is actually a massive crab. The moment Takeru and B see it, their mouths start watering because they both love the taste of crab. Vel and Clay are shocked to see that Takeru and B are thinking about eating it. The crab suddenly launches an attack. Vel warns them that this monster is A rank and they will need to fight it together. Clay agrees and prepares to battle. However, Takeru stops them and says that he will handle it alone. Takeru hardens his body and charges straight at the crab. At the same time, B uses its special sound ability to try to paralyze the crab. Takeru then swings his staff with full force and strikes the crab on the head, but it has no effect at all. The crab is far tougher than it looks. Still, Takeru refuses to give up. B uses its ice power to freeze the crab's leg, stopping it from moving. After scanning the monster, Takeru identifies its weak points. He attacks those precise spots and defeats the crab with ease. Everyone is left completely shocked. Clay then gets angry at Takeru and asks why he tried to fight such a monster alone. Takeru apologizes and says he got carried away. He explains that if they used weapons, blood would splash everywhere, and if the crab was injured in the wrong place, it wouldn't taste good. Clay sighs and says he understands that Takeru wanted to eat it, but he reminds him that he is his bodyguard. He tells Takeru that while he knows Takeru is strong and his magic is impressive, he wants him to stay calm in moments like this, trust his companions, and fight together. He assures him that neither he nor Vel will ignore Takeru's judgment, but they still want him to rely on them a little more. Takeru agrees and says he will be more careful next time. In the next scene, they collect all the mineral veins. However, Takeru can still feel a strong presence deeper ahead. He says that if they dig even further, they might find something even more incredible. Hearing this, Zumbo becomes so happy that he starts crying. He thanks Takeru for defeating the demon and gathering so many valuable minerals for them. While listening to all this, Takeru starts thinking to himself, in this world, earthquakes happen and monsters suddenly appear out of nowhere. Maybe this is the impact that God was talking about, the changes that would occur if he entered this world. Because of these changes, unexpected events are happening everywhere. His actions are clearly influencing many things. He hopes that his actions will bring positive changes to the people of this world. After leaving the mine, they go straight to meet the king. Takeru informs him that they have completed the job and also defeated the demon, so he can finally rest easy. Zumbo confirms this and tells the king that Takeru defeated such a powerful demon almost single-handedly. As proof, Takeru pulls the demon out of his bag. The king is deeply impressed and tells Takeru that he can ask for any reward he wants. Takeru thinks for a moment and says that if that's the case, he wants the crab. In the next scene, they are heading back. Vel says that they earned a lot of money by completing the job and that it was a great success. But Takeru has no interest in money at all. He is busy thinking about all the different dishes he can make using that crab. Later they learn that Vel asked the king for a white Pegasus as her reward, and it has now arrived. At the same time, Clay's spear has also been fully repaired. It is now time for Vel to leave. She explains that she needed the Pegasus for her sister and that she is going to deliver it to her. Saying this, she mounts the Pegasus and flies away. After that, Takeru and Clay return to the city. When they enter the guild, they meet Ariana. She is shocked to see both of them together and asks if they formed a party. Takeru quickly replies that they only teamed up temporarily to complete a mission. But Clay interrupts and says that while it's true they went on a mission together, they have officially formed a party. Hearing this, Ariana becomes extremely happy and says this is wonderful news. She immediately leaves to inform the guildmaster. Takeru turns to Clay and asks what he just did. Clay calmly replies that it's not a problem. He says that he doesn't really have a destination, and he knows Takeru is far from a normal person, so it would be better for him to stay by Takeru's side. Takeru thinks about it and realizes that forming a party with Clay isn't such a bad idea after all. In the final scene, after a long discussion, they decide to name their party the Azure Black Brigade. In the next scene, Takeru brings the Indriite to Grusus and tells him that he has brought exactly what he asked for. The moment Grusus and Rebels see it, they are left completely stunned. They can't even speak. Oh. Seeing their reaction, Takeru starts wondering what went wrong. He thinks that high-purity Indriite can be used to forge a sword, but since this Indriite is extremely pure, maybe it's actually difficult to make a sword from it. But instead of being disappointed, Grusus and Rebel suddenly start crying. They say that this Indriite is unbelievably pure, absolutely perfect. Grusus says that he is already 120 years old, but he has never seen so much Indriite gathered in one place before. Seeing how happy they are, Takeru becomes really pleased as well. He smiles and says that at least all his hard work as a gatherer finally paid off. Rebel then tells Takeru that these stones are incredibly valuable and they don't have enough money to buy all of them from him. Takeru replies that he doesn't want money. He reminds them that he already told them he only wants the scissors. He says they can make those later. For now, he wants them to use these stones to forge a sword and win first prize at the exhibition. Grusus and Rebel agree and immediately begin preparing to forge the sword. Half a month later, we see Takeru and Clay sitting together, relaxing and enjoying their meal. Suddenly, Wade approaches them and tells Takeru that an important person wants to see him. Clay notices the crest on the letter and realizes that it belongs to House Luce Lavach, the ruling lord of Belkheim and the entire kingdom. Takeru starts feeling nervous. He wonders why the lord would suddenly call for him and worries that something might go wrong. Trying to avoid it, he makes an excuse and says that his stomach hurts and he can't go. Wade reassures him and says that Lord Bemament is a noble and kind person who won't trouble him. Hearing this, Takeru finally agrees and reads the letter. In it, Lord Bemament invites both Takeru and Clay to his residence for an important matter. Takeru panics again and wonders if the Lord is calling him because he wants B. Wade quickly denies this and says that the Lord is not that kind of person. Besides, he doesn't even have the authority to take B from him. In the next scene, they are taken to meet the Lord in a noble carriage. Everyone around them is shocked when they see the luxurious carriage and realizes that it belongs to the Lord. Seeing all the attention, Takeru wonders why everyone is so surprised. Clay explains that receiving an invitation from the Lord is every adventurer's dream. If a Lord decides to support you, your entire life changes. Even an ordinary adventurer can become a noble. Soon they arrive at their destination. A butler named Raymonds greets them and leads them inside. But just then, the Lord's daughter appears. When she sees B, she says that she expected the dragon to be a little more intelligent. But it doesn't matter. She says she will make do with it. She then turns to Takeru and tells him to hand over the dragon because it belongs to her now. Takeru immediately refuses. The girl is shocked that he didn't obey her. She argues that dragons are noble creatures and that she herself is a noble. She says the dragon suits her perfectly and demands that Takeru give it to her. Hearing this, Takeru checks her status. He learns that her name is Tiares, and she studies at a boarding school in the royal capital. She is currently home for the holidays. Takeru calmly asks her why she thinks the dragon should belong to her. She replies that Bernald told her about an adventurer who keeps a dragon, so she thought it was only natural that a dragon should belong to her. Bernald had told her that whenever she meets an agent-like adventurer, she should act in a completely royal manner so that the adventurer would follow her orders. Hearing this, Takeru starts thinking that this Bernald seems quite suspicious. He wonders who Bernald really is. Then Takeru tells her that he is sorry, but B is a part of his family, and he cannot give the dragon to her. After hearing this, Tiares becomes very sad. She says that she did not know the dragon was his bonded partner and apologizes for speaking to him in a rude way. Saying this, she starts crying. Seeing her like that, B tries to calm her down. Takeru then asks her why she wants a dragon so badly. She replies that she wants to show it to her mother and that it is very important to her. Just then, the Lord of Belkheim arrives. Seeing him, Takeru is surprised and thinks that he is very handsome and also quite young. In the next scene, they are sitting together with the Lord, and Takeru asks why they were called here. The Lord replies that he wants their help for his wife. Takeru asks what happened to his wife. Clay explains that the Lord's wife has been bedridden and sick for the past 6 months. The Lord then says that he heard about Takeru curing someone with a very serious illness, which proves how amazing his powers are. That is why he wants Takeru to use his powers to heal his wife. Takeru starts thinking that when he used his magic before, even Clay ended up evolving because of it. If he makes a mistake this time, he does not know what might happen to the Lord's wife. The Lord then explains that Tiares also wants a dragon because of her mother. In a few days, Tiares has to return to school, and she thought that once she leaves, her mother would feel very lonely. That is why she wanted to leave behind a cute creature so her mother would always stay happy. He says that Tiares may be naive, but her heart is very pure, and she is doing all this only for her mother. After hearing everything, Clay becomes emotional and starts crying as well. Seeing everyone like this, even Takeru cannot ignore their situation anymore. He finally agrees and asks them to show him where the Lord's wife is. After that, the Lord takes them to his wife. He tells her that he has brought Takeru, the person with mysterious powers who can cure any illness. He then asks Takeru to come forward, but Takeru first asks if they can make the room a little brighter. The Lord replies that his wife is sensitive to sunlight. Takeru says that it is fine. Takeru then scans the Lord's wife. He finds out that her name is Emeth and that she is suffering from multiple illnesses at the same time. Hearing this, the Lord asks if he can cure her. Takeru replies that he can treat the symptoms, such as her sensitivity to sunlight, joint pain, stomach pain, and dizziness. However, Takeru realizes that she is also suffering from ether poisoning, something he does not fully understand. He thinks that even if his magic cannot cure that, he can at least heal her other conditions, and that should be enough. Takeru tells the Lord that he is an unknown adventurer and asks if he is truly willing to trust once with his wife's life. Emeth then says that she will follow whatever decision her husband makes. She says that she is not expecting a miracle, but she just wants to be able to hold her daughter's hands once again. Saying this, she starts crying. Seeing her like that, the Lord becomes emotional as well. He tells Takeru that he trusts him and begs him to save his wife. Takeru agrees and prepares himself to begin her treatment. Seeing all this, Clay asks Takeru if he is going to use the same technique he used to heal his injuries. Takeru replies that no, that technique consumes a huge amount of internal mana, and the Lord's wife does not have that much mana inside her. He says the first thing they need to do is fix the darkness in this room. Takeru realizes that the Lord's wife is blind, so he carefully uses his healing magic and restores her eyesight. Now she is finally able to see everything again. After that, Takeru uses his cleaning magic to thoroughly clean the room and opens the window. Sunlight starts coming inside, but even then, nothing happens to the Lord's wife. This means she is no longer affected by sunlight. Seeing this, both the Lord and his wife become very happy. However, Takeru does not look satisfied. He asks the Lord to come with him to another room. Once they are alone, Takeru explains the truth about the Lord's wife. He tells him that she is suffering from ether poisoning and that it is possible someone deliberately poisoned her. Hearing this, the Lord is completely shocked. Takeru then explains that he does not fully understand what ether poisoning is or how it works, which is why he cannot completely cure her. He asks the Lord if it is possible to obtain an antidote for this poison. The Lord replies that there is no antidote because ether poisoning was forbidden many years ago, and all antidotes were destroyed. Takeru says that if that is the case, they can create an antidote themselves. If they can obtain the original toxin, it should be possible to make one. The Lord says that he might be able to find information about it. He starts reading through many books and explains that his ancestors documented many things, so the poison should be mentioned somewhere. However, all these books are written in an ancient language, which makes them very difficult to read. Takeru has a skill that allows him to read ancient languages. Now he just needs to find which book contains information about the poison. He uses his search skill and quickly identifies the correct book. It turns out to be a diary written by a young girl. In it, she wrote about the ether flower, saying that she found it near a large stone shaped like a horse with a huge lake nearby. That is where she discovered the extremely rare ether flowers. Clay says that he knows this place. It is near a small village called Asith. The Lord replies that this location is outside their territory, and even if they travel by carriage, it would take 5 days to get there. Takeru says that in that case, they need to leave immediately. He goes outside and places a stone near the castle. This stone will guard the castle and keep the Lord's wife safe. Just as they are about to leave, Tiares comes running over and apologizes again for speaking to Takeru so rudely earlier. Takeru tells her that it is fine and that realizing her mistake on her own is a very good thing. He says she should be proud of herself. He then warns her that after he leaves, someone might try to tell her that he is a villain or that he is trying to deceive them. If anyone says such things, she should not believe them right away and should first tell her father. After that, Takeru and Clay leave on horseback. Takeru uses his power to increase the speed of their horses. After traveling for a long time, they finally reach the location. However, they find that the area has become barren. They can see the lake, but Clay says that the place used to be very beautiful before. After scanning the area, Takeru realizes that the water in the lake is poisoned. Just then, some villagers arrive. They're frightened when they see them and ask what they're doing there. Takeru introduces himself and explains that they came from Belkime. As proof, they show their guild bands. Suddenly, one of the villagers becomes dizzy. Seeing this, Takeru understands that the villagers are not getting proper food. He asks them what happened here. The villagers then take them to the rest of the village. One of the villagers explains that 10 months ago, the lake suddenly became polluted. All the fish died, and even the well water became unusable. Because of this, they could not do anything. Then a merchant named Ngache appeared and saved the village. He said that if they gave him the shiny golden flower that grows near the lake, he would save them. That flower was a divine flower passed down through their village legends. Only the villagers knew where it grew. With no other option, they gave him one plant every month. In return, he gave them 60 barrels of water. But that amount was not enough for farming, and soon they started facing food shortages. After hearing this, Clay says that the divine flower might actually be the ether flower. The villager agrees. Takeru says that from everything they have heard, Ngache seems like a very bad person. The villagers refuse to believe this and say that he saved their village. Takeru asks them to think carefully. He points out that Ngache appeared exactly when the water became polluted. He also explains that when he checked the lake, he found it poisoned. And if someone demands a toxic plant every month, that is extremely suspicious. Hearing this, the villager is shocked. He did not know that the flower was poisonous. Takeru tells them that yes, Ngache deceived them. Hearing this, the villagers are stunned and ask what they should do now. Takeru thinks to himself that Ngache is truly cruel for tormenting this village, and he will not forgive him. Takeru asks Bai to use creation magic. B agrees and rises above the clouds using magic to make it rain. Seeing the rain, everyone becomes happy. After that, Takeru uses cleaning magic to purify the people and repair magic to fix their houses. He then prepares delicious food for everyone. The villager becomes extremely grateful and asks what they can give him in return. Takeru replies that he needs the ether flower to create an antidote. Just then, Ganja and the other children arrive and start playing with Takeru. They take him to their secret base, where they have stored Lidas fruit. When Takeru tastes it, he realizes it tastes just like soy sauce. The scene then shifts to Tiares, who hears an alarm and rushes toward her mother's room. She remembers that Takeru had placed an alarm there. If anyone with malicious intent tried to approach her mother, the alarm would activate. As she runs, she wonders who would want to harm her mother. When she arrives, she discovers that it is Bernald. She asks him if he is trying to kill her mother. Bernald replies by asking why he would do that. Tiares tells him that Takeru said the alarm would only activate if someone with bad intentions came near her mother's room. Bernald scoffs and says that Takeru is just an adventurer and asks why she is trusting his words. He claims that adventurers are greedy by nature and says that the alarm is nothing more than a trick Takeru is using to deceive her. She insists that this cannot be true and says that Takeru would never do something like that. Bernald then asks her who she is going to trust, an adventurer or him. He says that he is the one who has loyally served her family for a very long time. Just then, the Lord arrives as well. After hearing both sides, the Lord says that it is possible Takeru could be deceiving them, but it is also true that because of Takeru, his wife's condition has improved. His magic device is telling him that Bernald is a threat. He demands that Bernald prove his innocence. The Lord asks his butler to bring some water and tells Bernald to drink it. He says this is the same water Bernald gave to his wife. If Bernald is innocent, he should drink it. Bernald refuses. The Lord then throws the water in Bernald's face. Bernald panics and shouts that it is poison. At that moment, the Lord drinks the water himself and calmly says there is no need to worry because it is just normal water. He explains that it was only a trick to expose the truth. After that, the Lord orders his guards to arrest Bernald. The butler then brings a letter that was found among Bernald's belongings. The letter is written in an ancient language, so Tiares cannot read it. However, after reading it, the Lord is completely shocked. He says that whoever wrote this letter is no ordinary thug. This must be the work of a large organization. The scene then shifts back to the village. Ngache arrives to meet the village chief, but the chief is not there. Another villager asks why he has come. Ngache replies that he arrived early this time to collect the ether flowers and asks where the village chief is. The villager says that the chief went somewhere with a group of adventurers. He also says that he heard the flowers Ngache takes are poisonous and that they will no longer give them to him. Hearing this, Ngache immediately calls in his guards and orders them to attack. Meanwhile, the village chief leads Takeru and Clay to the place where the flowers grow. After scanning them, Takeru discovers that these flowers were born from the tears of a secret beast called Hopfall Fear.